What's going on, Nation Army? My name's Ian, and welcome back to another motorsports-related topic video. And today, I want to talk about Matt Crafton. So for those who may or may not remember, back in Halloween, a post was made from yours truly about my take on Matt Crafton, because it was Matt Crafton's final race at Phoenix, and I gave like a bit of a personal brief opinion about Matt Crafton. And I've had some of you guys ask, oh, what made you not like Crafton anymore? Like, what made you not become a fan anymore? And why do you call yourself a former Matt Crafton fan? So here's the thing about Matt Crafton. So how do I truly feel about Matt Crafton these days? And how did I become a former Matt Crafton fan? So let me give you some context. I was a Matt Crafton fan from around like 2014. And when he was starting to win races and competing and winning for championships, I was really impressed with Matt Crafton on how he's done on track. And here's the thing. This is when Ron Hornaday was active, my favorite Truck Series driver of all time. So I was a Hornaday, Crafton, and even a Bubba Wallace fan back in 2014 in trucks, when they were in trucks. And I was really impressed, rooting for Matt Crafton on how he's done, rooting for him to win championships and races. And same thing in 2015, winning races, competing for a championship against Eric Jones and Tyler Reddick. And then he won 2 more races in the span of 2 years between Charlotte and Eldora and Dover. And then he won another race 3 years later at the second Kansas race. And the rest of his career, he was just winless. And how? Why did I stop being a Matt Crafton fan? So what happened was that at the Talladega race, on the closing laps, Nick Sanchez and Matt Crafton, they were at it, and Matt Crafton made contact with Nick Sanchez. I'm going by memory here, by the way. Please forgive me if I got it wrong. One of them caused a big one, and then after the big crash, Matt Crafton's wrecked truck stopped in front of Nick Sanchez, and he was out of the truck. And then after the race, we saw a middle of a fight between Nick Sanchez and another person. There was a group of guys stopping the fight, and Corey Roper, God bless Corey Roper, by the way, he stopped the fight, held Nick Sanchez back. Sanchez was all bloodied up. This wasn't a typical NASCAR post-race fight if there's like blood involved, or this much blood involved. And Sanchez was screaming, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," all that. Just very heated of the moment stuff on Sanchez's part, even though it's messed up to say. And then there were some sources saying like who caused the fight. And one of the sources said Matt Crafton put on street clothes after his race was done, and he attacked Sanchez, assaulted him. And when I was a Crafton fan, I was like, oh, I hope he didn't assault Sanchez like that. I hope he didn't assault Sanchez. I hope he didn't bloody him up. And then unfortunately, it turns out Crafton did assault Sanchez. He bloodied him up that much, and that was when I lost respect to Matt Crafton. That was when I stopped becoming a Matt Crafton fan. People forget that happened because whenever I bring that up, people forget about it. They don't remember it. And then unfortunately, it just went downhill for Matt Crafton for the remainder of his career. He continued to embarrass himself, whether it was just constant complaints and whining on radio or making himself look bad, embarrassing himself on track, on radio, all those things. He's just like pissed off at everybody whenever somebody accidentally touches him or somebody blocks him, something racing against him, something. Whatever you're doing to Matt Crafton, oh, Crafton acts like everybody's going after him. He's acting like it's his world. Like he was like mad at the world. And here's the thing. I don't have an issue with drivers like complaining on radio, whining on radio. I get it. You're in a race car. You're racing with a bunch of drivers. You're talking to a bunch of people on your team. There's a lot going on while racing. I get it. As a fan, I get it. Crafton was acting like everybody was out to get him. Or he was just complaining on radio for whatever the fuck. And then the things I can remember during his final years, I remember like Matt Crafton was not happy with John Hunter Nemechek. And then the recent memory I can think of was Matt Crafton taking out Ty Majeski, and then his incident with Bailey Curry at the Charlotte Roval. Curry accidentally made contact with Matt Crafton. He took him out. And then Crafton was acting like Bailey Curry was out to get him, acting like it was all intentional or whatnot. So the thing is that he unfortunately ruined his reputation during his final years in the Truck Series as a full-time driver. If it wasn't just the constant complaints on radio, it was just the on-track antics between Matt Crafton and whoever, or like going after everybody, whether it was his fault or somebody else's fault, but mainly his own fault. He never takes fully responsible of his own issues. And what annoyed me the most was after the final race at Phoenix, he was talking about like the problems of the Truck Series and NASCAR as a whole, drivers showing no respect on track. It's just all silly bullshit. NASCAR slop with green, white checkers, another bullshittery. I get it. The Truck Series is still not as good as it used to be. Unfortunately, they became a crapshoot again. I get it. And also, like, the truck package being terrible with, like, lack of horsepower and more downforce. Doesn't that sound familiar? And then one of the things that I did not like about the interview was just Matt Crafton acting like he's the voice of the Truck Series. Like, basically, like Austin Hill after the first Martinsville race saying, hey, I can, like, coach these drivers, help these drivers, all that. Unfortunately, the thing is that Matt Crafton's one of the problems with the Truck Series. He's a hypocrite because he has assaulted a driver and he's been, like, showing dirty antics and all that stuff, showing no respect. So he was part of the problem. He was one of the problems. The same thing he's preached about when it comes to, like, no respect on track. So if you ask me, in terms of retirement, Matt Crafton should have retired after the 2021 or 2022 season full time. That way, he would have kept his reputation, and his legacy and reputation would have been remembered more positivity. But unfortunately, that's not the case, and that is all Matt Crafton's fault. You would think that a veteran driver, a longtime driver, would get, like, support, appreciative, whenever they announce retirement, whenever they're done racing. Whenever Matt Crafton announced retirement, ironically 3 days after he took out Ty Majeski and Ty Majeski replaced him, whenever Matt Crafton announced retirement, a lot of fans were like celebrating that he was finally retiring. And you would think, oh, it's because he's getting old. He's almost 50 and all that. You would think that until, the lore of Matt Crafton's later seasons in the Truck Series, what he's done, how much of a softie he was on track, let's just say. As a former Crafton fan, I was like, oh, thank God he was retiring. He should have retired when he had the chance. Unfortunately, Matt Crafton just retired too late. Unfortunately, his reputation looks bad. He ruined his own legacy. And here's the thing. He is a champion. 2-time full season champion, by the way. He's won truck races. Obviously, that is something to respect. But unfortunately, it's just how Matt Crafton was on track during his later years that ruined it for him. We should be remembering Matt Crafton as a late bloomer who won his first truck race 8 years after being in a Truck Series. And then slowly became a Truck Series champion, winning more races. Like, he peaked in 2014, 2015. We should be remembering, like, some good moments of Crafton as a truck winner and champion. And unfortunately, that's not the case. People talk about the bad stuff as Crafton has done, and understandably so, because he did that to himself. That's his own fault. He made those choices. And in terms of Hall of Fame, I don't see Matt Crafton as a first or second ballot. I feel like he would be like a later ballot if lucky. He's no Ron Hornaday, he's no Mike Skinner, he's no Jack Sprague, he's no Todd Bodine, and he's no Corey Heim. I think Corey Heim deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for his truck accomplishments more than Matt Crafton. Like, here's the thing. People bring up stats. Like, there was one stat. In 25 years, Matt Crafton won 16 races. Corey Heim, who was in the Truck Series since, 2020, 2021, and 2022 as part-timing, in the span of 4 seasons, he won more races than Matt Crafton ever did in 25 years. That's embarrassing for Matt Crafton. So I've been wanting to say something about Crafton for a while. He is going to be part-time, he says, but who's going to get him? Is he going to be in Thor Sports still, but in 66? Because Ty Majeski's in the 88 now. And whenever he is racing, if he is racing in the Truck Series, is he still going to be the same hot-headed driver? Or is he actually going to keep it cool? Who knows? So there's a reason why Matt Crafton is not going to be remembered fondly or positively due to his own antics. Like, here's the thing. If you're a Matt Crafton fan, if you're still a Matt Crafton fan, you dealt with all the bullshit he went through and other stuff. More power to you. I'm not going to, shit on you for it. I'm a former Matt Crafton fan. Had he controlled his own emotions better, even though he stopped winning races, he would still be remembered somewhat fondly positively. Being a bit more respected as a driver who's been a veteran in the Truck Series for almost 3 decades, 25 years. So this may not be like the most good retrospective video or whatever video this is, but I wanted to say how I truly felt about Matt Crafton after like a while. So tell me what you guys think about Matt Crafton in the comments below. Are you still a Crafton fan? Did you used to be a Crafton fan? Do you hate Crafton? What do you like about Crafton? What do you hate about Crafton? Tell me in the comments below. I'm curious to hear, but keep it respectful. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Ian, and I talk about racing. Signing off. Goodbye, everybody.